Trafficking guns into the hands of criminals.
A Grand Rapids man is sentenced in a plot that federal prosecutors say helped drive a rise in violence in Michigan. News 8's Byron Tollefson joins us with more on that trend that federal prosecutors are especially concerned about.
Due to the illegal gun trafficking ring, a Wyoming man was able to get his hands on the weapon he used to allegedly kill his 2-year-old daughter. Federal prosecutors say they're seeing more cases like these with deadly consequences.
It's a crime that federal prosecutors say spirals into one tragedy after another.
It really is a crime that has not gotten enough attention. It is certainly one of the significant sources that is fueling the significant increase in violence that we are seeing across Michigan in our various cities.
Grand Rapids resident Jarrell Martin bought at least 45 guns and illegally sold them to convicted felons around the state, charging $50 to $100 each. It's a process known as straw purchasing. This is one of multiple cases that U.S. Attorney Mark Taunton is prosecuting in West Michigan.
And what makes this one, I think, particularly worrisome and really egregious is that there were so many downstream effects of this crime.
Investigators tracked down 14 of the guns. They stress there are even more out there. One of them, a semi-automatic pistol, ended up in the hands of a man who allegedly used it to kill his 2-year-old daughter, Khalees Brewer, in Wyoming last February.
That's why this work is so important. We have to stop the illegal channels that are really arming people that are willing to commit these horrible crimes.
Another Glock pistol was used in 3 shootings in Grand Rapids. One on the Blue Bridge last September left 4 people injured. The city temporarily closed the Blue Bridge overnight, just days after. A different pistol was used in 3 different drive-by shootings in Grand Rapids over the next 2 months.
The list is really quite shocking to see. The number of homicides that followed, the number of shootings, some of them, drive-by shootings, spraying bullets into the home of sleeping families. It really is quite concerning.
Still, Martin was only sentenced to just over 3 years in prison after a plea deal that dismissed 6 out of 8 charges.
I will say the sentencing here certainly took place within the bounds of what the law prescribes. I wouldn't want to minimize what 36 months means. The person here was a first-time offender, and certainly hopeful that 36 months changes his course.
Investigators say they told Martin that one of his guns was used in the killing of the Wyoming 2-year-old, but he still tried to buy and illegally sell a gun once again. We asked Taunton why Martin wasn't arrested before then. He says part of the reason it took long to build their case is because there's no national gun database.
So in this case, when law enforcement does an investigation like this, they have to go to each individual gun dealer in the area, ask them to pull up their records, and ask if a certain individual ever purchased guns from their stores. That can be a very labor-intensive task that takes time.
Another one of the pistols was used in a drive-by shooting in Flint that struck an 11-year-old girl. Another was recovered by Central Michigan University police after being used in a string of vehicle break-ins.